Hello, everyone, and welcome to the broadcast. Off center. My name's newtmechanist, and today we're going to be continuing our playthrough of 100 Line Last Defense Academy. We had one of those moments in the last one that makes us severely doubt whether we're playing the good guys or not. We'll have to see how this unfolds, but it's not looking great. Mind fail. Let's see. Last time we tried some coding on the stream. We are going to be getting back to that, but I need to do a little bit of offline research in order to figure out how I actually want to change things around without causing performance issues. We'll see. But in the meantime, let's check in with the kitties here. Ember is scratching at my chair down at the side. She is down at the side most likely because Molly has taken her spot. Sky has taken backup spot. And Sammy is in tertiary spot. Aside from Ember, we do have all of them visible. Mason and Sherbet are on the bed. As I mentioned, Molly and Sky are on the desk. And Sammy is over on the shelf. With, again, Ember demanding attention down beside my chair. When she is on the ground beside the chair, she is insistent on getting scratches. She'll roll around and chirp and grab at your hand. Quite demanding. But there was something that I wanted to show you folks at the start of the game here at the main menu. How it says press any button. If you watch closely when this happens, you will see the text from the other Hemo Anima user, the opposing general, before they transformed and after they transformed. The text denoting their speech was in kind of some curly-Q symbols. If you watch on press any button behind it, very faint are those red symbols, and when we press the button, those red symbols flash a little bit. The text there is implied to be kind of fundamental or important. We'll see how that, again, we'll see how this unfolds. But it does give us an idea that there's definitely more to kind of the blood magic that they're using and what they're ultimately up to. Again, soothing piano is the order of the day. We won't be playing the in-game music because I want these streams to stay up. Hello, Ember. Hello. Okay, what were we doing? Go to Subasa's room. Are we... Oh, okay. So last time, we're going to call her student body president, had taken command in the absence of Surrey and was kind of instituting harsh discipline. Anybody that wasn't a combatant was forbidden from eating in the cafeteria, and then confined to their room, and most recently given an ultimatum that either they join the fight or they leave the academy. Leaving the academy essentially saying, go out and die. We are in the process of trying to convince them to join us in a fight so that that gets avoided. Is this a branching path portion of the narration? I don't know. We have a bunch of empty houses here. And some of this splash art on Steam does imply that there are more characters that will show up on top of that. Again, we don't know how that would play out, but we'll see. I rang the door to Tsubasa's room. After a short while, the door slowly opened. What is it, Takumi? Is it Hiroko again? Takumi is who we're playing, and Hiroko is student body president, now that I have been reminded of her name. She has the look, Hiroko has the look of the I am better than you, like I am demonstrably more capable than you, kind of authoritarian, class character in a school anime. They are usually going to be like a proficient martial artist in some sense, highly academically savvy, that kind of thing, though their social skills are usually questionable at best for some reason, whether it's hostility or isolation or something like that. If you don't mind, I just want to be left alone. Actually, I came here on my own. Here, I brought you something. They are bringing food from the cafeteria to them since they haven't gotten to eat in over a day. Sandwich. Let's see. That looks like kind of a meat and roughage kind of one on the left side there. Unclear. There might be some sauce on the lettuce. And then what I'm assuming is egg salad. I kind of like an egg salad sandwich. It's good. I mean, in general, I like the, I like deviled eggs. I like egg salad sandwiches, that kind of thing. Those are tasty. If only eggs were affordable. Are those sandwiches for me? Yeah, I thought we could sit and eat together. It's just that I don't want Hiroko to catch us, so would you mind letting me in? Of course, come on in. Welcome to my room, you beautiful sandwiches. You too, Takumi. What am I, a consolation prize? I mean, clearly yes. The only reason she's continuing this conversation and allowing you in is sandwiches. I feel like that was made very clear. The moment the door closed, Tsubasa pounced on the sandwiches. Almost every character, this was true in Danganronpa, and it is true now, has some sort of drooly sprite. Their use cases vary. Usually there will be a because I'm hungry thing, but they were also frequently used in Danganronpa, and a couple of those cases have shown here in 100 line, where they are used when the character has gone full pervy. This is what I've been missing. Been craving moist bread since we got here. At the introduction of the cafeteria after the first battle, anybody who didn't participate in the fight only got dry bread. Essentially not fresh loaf. Now, once Sirei went missing, and then turns out that Sirei had gotten double quartered, they started just taking the food. because there was nobody there to stop them from ordering whatever they wanted until Hiriko showed up, and it went from, reduced rations to no rations to don't leave your room, that kind of thing. I never want to see dry bread ever again. Makes my mouth feel like sandpaper. She must have been starving. She scarfed down the sandwiches in less than a minute. Ooh, I'm stuffed. Thanks, Takumi. You're a lifesaver. Now I don't have it. Now I don't have to eat dry bread today. Hey, Tass. Welcome. Pushing some buttons. There we go. Oh. I mean, it's not shocking that they would pick up a remake of Chrono Trigger. It's a property that people have always want kind of remastered, that kind of thing. That's one that they'll have to execute on very well. It wasn't originally as long as Final Fantasy VII, so I wouldn't expect the dev time to be comparable to that remake. But I think to do it justice, they're going to have to spend a lot of time on it. Like, really lean into the different time periods and jumping between them. It's simultaneously less content to remake, and also, I think, a lot of expectation to remake. It's one of those games that is very nostalgia heavy as far as the content. There's still great scenes and great moments, but they definitely aren't as complex and rich as people probably remember. Which means they're fighting the same Final Fantasy thing. The prior game was fantastic, but it's not going to be as good as people remember it, because they remember it not how it was. They remember playing it. Yeah, that's right. It's Chrono Trigger does live much closer into a classic JRPG space. Now, there are a lot of key characters, but even less than... Well, most of it is in the leads, in the interactions with the leads, and a couple of other characters. So that'd have to get fleshed out. I really don't think we can get away with tabula rasa characters like your self-insert heroes anymore. So Chrono would have to become a person, and that's gonna cause some people to flip out. But there's also just a huge amount of breathing room for adding content in and making it of the duration and quality of a modern game. Like, the prehistory area is light on the ground for the most part. Zeal has a couple of places, but really fleshing out Zeal would be cool. Like, as a place to explore, as opposed to just a series of set pieces with a dungeon or two kind of thing. The future actually gets, I think, a little bit of... is characterized pretty well, but, I mean, it could always use more. Uh, I'm still reminded, so spoilers, but old games. So, it's kind of like spoiling Lord of the Rings. What is it called? Chrono Cross is a kind of sort of sequel to Chrono Trigger. It's a sure whatever sequel. But to be fair, Chrono Trigger is referenced in it, and I think the ramifications of changing timelines is always a neat thing to explore in games. So in Chrono Cross, late in it, you can encounter a place where you can kind of see remnants of time, and there are 3 little dolls, essentially, kind of like little mini chibis or something, of Chrono, Luca, and Marla. The 3 primary leads of Chrono Trigger. And effectively, they talk to you about how your actions have erased their timeline. They have ceased to be because of what you've done. We see some of that in Chrono Trigger. Marla's plotline has some of those oddities to it, where when she falls back in time, she slides in to the spot that is missing because of the kidnapped queen at the time, her ancestor. So nobody goes really to look for the kidnapped queen, which means Marla's timeline breaks down. That's often presented as the character just disappears, and that's what they do. But it raises the question of, well, why? Why is that person ceasing to be? Or why do they pop back into existence as if something never happened? There's a lot of influence of Back to the Future in that kind of stuff, the Back to the Future movies, where if you mess up the timeline that you originally came from, then you'll start to fade out of existence. But they also establish that you can have branching timelines, that there is some sort of time frame to mess with it, and not everybody, not everything gets subjected to those ripples. So we get to see some of that, writing-wise wiggliness as far as maintaining it. And I guess what I'm getting at is, if you're going to write a time travel narrative, people want to see changes based on their actions, but even more than a choices matter kind of game, butterfly effect is a real thing. You don't have to go all out, with, genetic material is constantly randomized based on the exact moment that it happens. But just helping one family become rich in town doesn't happen in a vacuum. They are not just suddenly rich and nothing else changed. They did not all starve and nothing else changed. Yes. You have to dodge a lot of... if you're going to do a time travel plot line, then one of the core principles, and I'm going to quote Discworld here. I love to quote Discworld, but whatever happens stays happened. And what that often means is, if time was going to change, then it is going to change. So you need to not only incorporate it's clear that your actions had an impact, but you also need to have those hints that your changes already had an impact. Because by the time your characters are acting, their future selves will have messed with their past selves. So some of those things will have already happened. Which creates some interesting opportunities for gameplay, is setting things up so that the positioning, so that the timing of those things is relevant. I think the classic moment that they executed on this relatively well and also established some element of how the system works is Chrono's death. Again, spoilers, but it's an old game. Chrono dies. The main character dies in the basic playthrough. There is a series of things you can do to avoid that, but it is convoluted. And one of those aspects involves getting a perfect dummy of them made. There is a point in the game where if you do a mini game, then you can get it's like a doll. It's a dummy, but it's a perfect clone kind of thing. And if you go to that moment in time, it is possible for you to essentially intervene at the moment that Chrono would die and swap out that dummy. And that's okay. The timeline views that as fine. Because a match was swapped out. Yes, you can trick time, and that's that element, is changes have gravity. I've mentioned it before. There's a book series called Dire, D-I-R-E. It's a great book series. There's a lot going for it. Read it. But one of the aspects is that it involves time travel. There are a couple of time travelers. And one of the jokes they make is that because time travel is a thing that happens and people periodically discover it, one of the first things that people do is the trope of, I'm going to go back and kill Hitler so World War II doesn't happen. Well, time shows us currently that Hitler is still alive. Like, from our perspective, Hitler is still alive, which means all these time travelers keep failing. And what they end up declaring is that there is now essentially a scar in time in that circumstance. It is impossible for Hitler to die before World War II because people keep trying and failing, and every time they do, it reinforces time. It creates more interesting narratives than just, I'm going to go back and change the past, and it does stuff. It's, you are fighting what currently is. So you have to figure out a way to make changes that do not change time too much. Yeah, you need to nudge it, because if it becomes a hard fact, you can't change it. It needs to be something that is a soft truth. Like, it still happened, but not how you think it does, and it can change going forward. So if there is a true present, and I think that's a critical element, there needs to be a true present and then a projected future and a relatively fixed past. If you don't mess up the present too much, then you can make changes. If you go into the future, nothing you do matters because that's projected. That's a possibility. Now, it creates interesting ideas of what happens to entities that you were to, say, bring back from one of those possibilities, because they're purely hypothetical. Robo, for example. Everything about the future is very subject to change in that. Robo sticks around, though. Robo is walking fiction in a lot of those timelines. Extra bonus, there is the opportunity for you to take Robo to the medieval era and drop him off to help cultivate. Which, unless you retrieve him again, he eventually breaks down and is enshrined. So there is now a robot, one of the future robots, that has been around since medieval times and is a known fact, is a thing. So, in the fun, what was it? Barbed Wire mentioned this, the bootstrap paradox. So, if you do that and Robo exists, are the robots that exist in the future, the things that Robo is, are those inspired by the robot that you left in the past? And if that's the case, who made the original robot? Like, who designed it? That's fun with time travel. That idea that if something happens that is related to time travel, you must ensure that it still happens. And sometimes that is the past can't change. Like, the present doesn't change, it gravitates. You know, there are too many small events that still push you towards that event. Even if you change 50 things, there's 150 more that say it's still going to happen, kind of thing. But you also create those closed loops. There are things that can happen that say, this is how it happens. And it can't not happen that way. Because in your efforts to go back and adjust it, that is what made it happen. And that can be a lot of fun. It's that your actions do have meaning, but your actions were assumed already when you decided to go back. It's the things that led you to do that are the things that led you to go back in time and fix were instigated by you going back in time and messing with them in the first place, resulting in the state that made you want to go back, even if after that, after you leave the time machine, the events have worked out how you wanted it to. Part of what happened caused you to go back. And it has to, if you're in a closed timeline, if you're in a single timeline scenario. If you're in a branching timeline scenario, everything's up in the air. It doesn't matter. It is the comic multiverse problem. But anyhow, I am interested to see how that works out. I feel like I'm fine with ports, like them tuning a engine so that it can work on other platforms and can expose people that never encountered a game to it, or that allows people to revisit a game that they don't have access to anymore. You know, old consoles and whatnot. Even if you kept the cartridge, even if you kept the console, there's nothing stopping it from breaking down. Old NES games with memory, that memory wears out. Yeah, defining a branching time system is tricky, because are you dealing with the, the hypothesized kind of quantum state of the world, the all things have happened all the time? Hey there, King. Or are you dealing with only touching the timeline causes a fracture? We're doing pretty well, King. We're in a bit of a tangent. Tass over in the widescreen format mentioned that they are thinking of remaking Chrono Trigger, a Square Enix game. I think it was a Square game at the time. And so we've been on a time travel discussion. But yeah, with branching timelines, you also need to define how a branch happens. Because if you're talking about a branch for every possible thing that ever could have happened, then your concept is less about time travel and it's more probability hopping. That's fine, King. People watch when they are able to and when they want to. That's how it should be. I appreciate it when people can watch, but understand when they can't. Yeah, if every probability creates it, every possible probability creates its own timeline, infinitely branching possibilities create their own timelines, then it's not so much time travel as it is jumping to a particular probability. Because all of these things are real. You might as well be dimension hopping. Rick and Morty. This is a timeline where, or this is a dimension where, is much more like that. Yeah, they claim they don't time travel in Rick and Morty, but it's irrelevant. When you have that kind of branching pattern, since how you travel and where you travel doesn't really matter, it's just that you can jump from one probability to the other. If branching timelines are more, if you're using Back to the Future rules, then timelines change when a time traveler changes them. And that's the fun of the initial event, is something had to change the past to cause Marty to go back in order to ensure his birth happened. There is an instigating event in the past that causes that initial fracture. Him going back changes the past, but the way it's shown is it's much more of a convergence. Is that timeline, either you view it as it becomes the real timeline, or it merges back and the differences are flattened. For example, if I recall, they never mention the fact that Marty bootstraps a particular bit of rock and roll. Is the original, the person that originally made the song now only made the song because they heard Marty playing the song. But that doesn't seem to have mattered, because that person is still the creator of that song. Does that change really matter, essentially? So the timeline swallows it. That's a hiccup, but the rest of the timeline is identical. Or, if you have a fracture, is it that timeline stays separate forever? And do the other timelines continue in their own path after the fracture, or do they vanish? Is there a new prime timeline after a fracture? I believe, if I recall, the Stephen King story, The Langoliers, follows that kind of pattern, with the idea that timelines that fracture off, those fractured timelines get consumed. There is a thing that eats them. With the gimmick being that people normally flow into the correct timeline. They keep flowing into the prime timeline. But if you don't flow forward, if you don't continue along the current now, then you're in one of the dead spaces in the titular Langoliers consume it. Neat idea. Is that does establish time as a place. That 3D space actually flows through time. There is a present, but all of the prior ones exist. But people do not exist in each one. They are not a line in time. They are a point, and that point only exists in the present, or in whatever portion of time they currently exist in. Things can get complicated. Let's see, Terminator time travel is trickier. There's the implication that the actions change, that can change the future, but it doesn't seem to actually work that way. Is you can go back and you can change the past. But in the act of going back, you have fundamentally changed the past, just doing it. The stated goal is remove a person and that will change the future. The implication of that being able to work is fracturing timelines. Is if I can in the future send somebody back and cause a change that will have an impact one way or the other, that means that it can't be a single timeline. Because that single timeline now necessitates that somebody exists to send something back. Now, you could close the loop if John and Sarah Connor live long enough and they find out the exact, they live long enough to get the technology to make a Schwarza Terminator and send it back in time to the moment and program it and send it back in time to do the same thing that the original one did. Now the loop is closed. A Terminator went back, tried to kill them, and failed. That remains true. But if it's a single timeline, you must close the loop. Otherwise, your timeline is now false. No Terminator went back. If it's a fractured timeline, that doesn't matter at all. Again, we're discounting infinite probabilities timelines because those are boring. As far as time travel problems, those are boring because it doesn't matter. You can just hop to one where the probability is different. There's no changing. You're just sidling. But Terminator works fundamentally without having to close the loop if it fractures timelines. Now, it still doesn't answer what happens to the other timeline where it fractured, but it allows a time to change. The original future still exists enough that it can send something back, that moment in time is still true. It's just independent. Nothing matters after that moment in time in that future. That could freeze and cease to be. But up until that time, that moment in time is forever the moment when the Terminator went back. Nothing after that matters, but that moment remains true. There's kind of like a little clipped nubbin on the tree of time. Now, extra fun is if that's not a nubbin, if that continues to go forward. How many branches exist and can they interact? Is it possible to go sideways? Because that loops us again to the sends us again to the idea of time travelers create fractures. So, can you get into another fracture? Or can you only make fractures? It gets us perilously close to infinite possibilities, but it's not quite, because there is a finite number of them. How many of those fractures actually create branches? How many of them are self-healing? Marty McFly inventing rock and roll is one of them. That's self-healing. It's everything else is true, but the source of it has changed. The true source of it has changed. But unless the ripples of that actually get further out, it doesn't really matter. If the same things happen right around where they need to happen, then you won't change enough, and the timeline kind of eats that change. The time traveler returns. Nothing seems to be different. They are frustrated. They take a chainsaw back next time. But yeah, I'd be very interested to see how they do it if they remake Chrono Trigger. What aspect of time travel are they going to invoke? How will they present it? Because Chrono Trigger as it is, I feel like, is fractured time, and it is incomplete fractured time. They don't explore all of the nuances. Just like there are pairings, effectively, you know? These 2 points are connected in time. If you make this adjustment, you can change this spot. It's an interesting concept, but you know, as soon as the spaceship is introduced, the idea of there are weak spots in time kind of goes out the window. Yeah, but it's fun. It's fun. Sometimes just talking about those kind of concepts in general can be fun. Back we go. As was just made apparent, folks, if you want to talk about something that is a little off topic, that can be fine. Just respect if we don't go into depth on it. That is, if I stop talking about it, I'm not going to talk about it. Have you just been living on dry bread since Hiroko banned you from the cafeteria? Yeah, that bread is so dry, I had a nightmare last night where I was stranded in the desert. Hey, would it be too much to ask for you to bring over some moist bread from time to time? No problem. I almost wonder if they're meant to be saying stale bread. Because it's... Are they actually saying this is a variety of bread that's just incredibly dry? Like, it feels like it would have to be engineered to be that way. But if you're talking stale bread, then it has dried out. Try to sneak you some bread or rice balls. It's not really that it would make a difference between saying stale and dry. It's just that it's clearer. You know, you only get old bread. Really? But in exchange, would you open up to me? Phrasing. Open up to you about what? The reason why you won't fight. If you have some reason, I'd love for you to tell me. I should have expected this. Is this what you were after from the start? The sandwiches were to bribe me for information. Sorry, Tsubasa. I know I'm taking advantage of your desperation here, but desperate times call for desperate measures. He is taking advantage of her desperate circumstances to try to save her from death. She refuses to fight or use her abilities, those are the only things that help them survive, or that would allow them to survive against the monsters outside. They are going to be sent outside in 5 days. So trying to get information out of them is less about taking advantage of them and more desperately attempting to prevent their death. I just want to understand where you're coming from. Okay, fine, but in exchange, I'm going to want some more moist bread later. Moist. In the same way that, say, calling it dry seems strange, calling it moist is strange in the other direction. Like, is it wet bread? It just raises more disturbing questions. Beverage. Right here. I let out a deep, resigned sigh and began to share her inner thoughts. Look, I feel bad about it. I know it's unfair for me to stay where it's safe while you guys go out there and fight. But fighting is difficult for me. It's a physical thing. Huh? What do you mean? Tsubasa? I can't keep it down. Keep it down? When I get nervous, it comes out, and not just a little bit.
Hey!
When it comes out, I don't understand what you... Puke, I puke, okay? Well, yeah, they demonstrated that the... We don't know if it's the particular degree of violence or just the fighting itself, but it seems to make her, like, nauseous. Huh? That's just how I'm built. When I get nervous, I hurl. Come to think of it, Tsubasa is always retching. They have a dedicated voice line and, like, a couple of variations for that. Pushing some buttons. There we go. I have to periodically check and make sure the audio hasn't gone haywire on you. That's why if I ever fought the invaders, I'd turn the battlefield into a sea of vomit. I mean, maybe you could view it as like crowd control. Like, I mean, one would assume it would be disorienting, slippery, if not disturbing for the enemy. Lightly acidic, smelly fire hose aimed at them. Hey, Skylar. Welcome. You really want to get showered by my puke? Okay, well, see, now you've crossed a line. We have drifted very strongly into the writer's poorly concealed fetish territory. Would you even be able to fight under those conditions? What if my puke got in your eyes? Could you take medicine or something? It's a physical thing, and medicine doesn't help the issue. Tried all sorts of things since I was little, but none of them worked. I get worked up, it just comes out. Even now, just picturing myself fighting the invaders. See, they have a variety of different sounds for Tsubasa retching. Are you okay? Oh god, no. I can't. Tsubasa vomited all over the floor. She immediately pushes me out of the room, tears welling in her eyes. Ooh. That's a tough thing to live with. She vomits whenever she's nervous. She's right that she won't be able to fight if she's constantly puking. Can't blame her for refusing. There's a chance she'll fight if she can overcome this issue. Doesn't seem like she was unwilling to fight. If only I can find out a way to suppress her nausea. How, though? Puking is... Puking? Aito, how long have you been there? While I've been narrating to myself. I just came by to see if I could help with anything. So what is this about puking? Hate to air out someone's personal health struggles. This doesn't seem like something I can solve on my own. Maybe I can ask him for advice. Alright, just keep this between us, but... I proceeded to tell Aito about Tsubasa's tendency to puke. The day in which I get to say puke a lot, apparently. I see, so that's what she's been dealing with. That sounds tough. Yeah, I want to help her, but I don't know how. She hasn't found a successful remedy on her own, right? In that case, maybe it's better we just assume she's going to vomit and plan around that instead. What do you mean? Like, have her bring a high-quality sick bag or something. Well, we're back to my earlier point, I guess. Sick bag? Like the bags they have on buses? You know, I've never been on a bus where they had sick bags. Airplanes, yes. I suppose if she used the bag when she had to, she wouldn't have to worry about getting puke everywhere. Do they even have sick bags here? High quality ones at that. What about using that gift-o-matic in the rec room? The gift-o-matic? Yeah, if they don't have them here, we just need to make them. Seems like it's able to make most things. It's worth looking into. We headed over to the rec room to check the gift-o-matic. Fashionable sick pouch. Okay, this... Yeah. Okay. So... let's unpack this. One, it's fashionable, and you can see in the icon that it is like a little purse. So, that's disconcerting already. I mean, practical, I guess. We're not doubting that. It's just... it's very fashionable. But... an odor and liquid-proof barf bag. It can be fully washed for max cleanliness. I mean, I guess if it's only going to be once, you know? Like, once per battle this is gonna happen. Then I guess that could work. She'd probably learn to get very accurate using it. But, in before this is a battle mechanic for her. It looks like a fashionable pouch at first glance, but it contains an odor and liquid-proof barf bag. It can be fully washed for maximum cleanliness. The washing part of that has got to be unpleasant to deal with. A fashionable sick pouch. This looks perfect. Tsubasa is sure to open up if we give her this as a present. The materials we'll need are string, a plastic bag, and a fashionable pouch. String and plastic bags seem easy enough to find, but a fashionable pouch may prove tricky. Anyone's likely to have a pouch, it'd be a girl. Maybe I can negotiate a trade of some sort. I'll look for a fashionable pouch if you can handle the string and plastic bag. So Aito and I split up to gather materials we needed for the stick bag. Where to start? Guess I'll just ask everyone. Give Tsubasa a heartfelt gift to persuade her. Talk to the other characters to gather information about what you should get her. Preparing for persuasion missions. You might also need to go exploring to get the materials you need to make the gift. Give everything you have to persuade her. Okay, this might be a branching scenario. Is it possible for us to get to the end of the 5th day and fail at this? Now, as I mentioned, this is a whatever happens happens run. So, barring an actual regular game over, you lost the battle, game over kind of thing. Decision based things that I choose this character kind of stuff, we're sticking to it. If we choose A, B, and B, we choose A out of A and B, and A is an instant game over, yeah, we're going to go back. But otherwise, we're going to follow the branch to its conclusion. Just remember the buttons. Okay, Darumi is somewhere in the hallway. Luckily, everything's a circle. Nunchuck sumo! Darumi, do you have a fashionable pouch? If you do, could I have it? Huh. So here again is a weird choice of words. So fashionable pouch, and the way she's replying to it sounds like they said purse, Now, it's not inaccurate. Purse is a pouch, but the way that they're reacting to it is generally what you'd expect to say with purse. I just dump all my makeup in my bag. I even throw my mirror in there. Raw dog. So I always end up cutting my finger on the cracked surface. Less, raw and more with force, I guess. Right, you should be careful. I always imagined that all girls carried around pouches and accessory bags, but I guess that's not the case. I mean, I might not have one, but I've got some ideas where you might find a pouch. Huh? Really? Back around where we found Aito, I found what looked like a dilapidated cosmetic shop. I memorized where it was so I could go maybe pick up something from there later. Can you tell me where it is? Got the general coordinates of the cosmetic shop from Darumi. If I can find a pouch somewhere inside the school, I'll go check this place out later. So there are key points on the map when you're exploring outside that you can go to for particular things or for story matters or similar. But from the sound of it, we might not have to spend a whole day exploring or trying to explore to get it if we can find one inside. How's it going, Takumi? Takumi? Are you getting anywhere with them? Still working on it. I talked to Tsubasa, but it's a little complicated. I have a feeling that she'll choose to fight with us. Yeah, bike lovers ain't no cowards. Huh? Bike lovers? Does Tsubasa like bikes? I mean, all vehicles, really. She's a huge mech geek. She really knows her stuff. Never met a girl who knew more about bikes than me. That much, huh? Apparently, her grandpa runs a workshop. She hung out there every day where she learned how to be a mechanic. You know, I vaguely recall her saying something like that before.
I wonder if the work.
I would try a deeper voice for him, but I'm trying to just change inflection slightly when I read these so that there's some difference box by box, and deeper voices will rip my throat up pretty fast. Maybe someday I'll practice. The workshop's still standing after all that.
Workshop.
Oh, it's just a little garage I run with my grandpa. We mostly just tune up cars, but we do other stuff too. I've always liked tinkering with machines, so I've been watching my grandpa work ever since I was little.
Her grandpa's workshop, huh? I should file this information away. It might help me convince her.
Ah.
By the way, Takamaru, you know where I could find a fashionable pouch?
Ugh.
A what? Yeah, I knew it was a long shot. But that's a flag for knowing about her work, the work at the workshop. Click. Look, Takumi. I found a plastic bag. Nice one, Ito. One item down. Let's keep this up. Where should I look next? Any ideas? You seem pretty upbeat. I don't know. I'm just having fun. Feels like a treasure hunt. I spent a lot of time in the hospital, so I never got to hang out with friends like this. I mean, we're not exactly playing around here, but whatever. He did find one of the items after all. Fashionable pouch? I don't have anything like that. I've never even used one before. Not even once. We don't even carry around bags or wallets. We would only be targeted by robbers if we did. We tie all our valuables to our bodies so they're secure. There is a... These two have a past. Like outwardly, you'd expect them to be the rich, they're twins. You'd expect them to be like the rich kids. But some of what they say implies they very much aren't. And we haven't found out more about that. Like, what's their circumstance? That's just being street smart.
Oh.
Yes, we literally keep things on our person. Reminds me of the nights we spent sleeping on the streets, right there. Me snuggling up against my sister dearest. We were pressed up very close. Kind of horrible struggles did these two go through. You can have a piece of string. I recommend you tie your valuables to your thigh. Thanks, I'll do that. I didn't find a pouch, I managed to get some string. It's like an old shoelace. That's progress, at least. Well, we got the string and a plastic bag, but we came up short on the fashionable pouch. Yeah, but I got a lead on where we might be able to find one. Hey there, Zane. We're continuing our 100-line playthrough today. I'm having a good time with this one. We played a lot, well, I like games like Phoenix Wright. The first Danganronpa was mostly good, and this one is turning out pretty good so far. You know, fingers crossed that it won't go sideways. Some of the Phoenix Wright things took turns, but it was generally case by case. It wasn't like the whole game's quality started to turn. And Danganronpa, towards the end of the first and definitely into the second, the quality took a downturn. The end of Danganronpa 2 was enough that I didn't want to play 3. Because 2 was described as one of the better ones, and 3 was close to 2, is how the fandom seemed to describe it, and I felt that 2 was terrible compared to 1. So, ugh. According to what Darmi told me, there's a cosmetic shop where we found Ito outside the school. We'll go check it out tomorrow. Yeah, there have been a couple of games recently that have really done well. Ready to go hunt for that fashionable pouch, Takumi? Let's just plunk down a save while we're at it. Treasure chest spaces will now appear during explorations. Landing on one will grant you a key item needed to unlock a gift. By obtaining key items from treasure chests, you'll be able to make new gifts from the Gift-O-Matic. So we saw a couple of those mentioned when we were looking through the gifts, where you have to have obtained item X to make item Y, kind of thing. Many characters' preferred items can be made from key items, so try to land on treasure chest spaces whenever you can. Let's head for the cosmetic shop. Somewhere around the spot we found you. Then that should be it. Then that should be in that direction. Oops. Find an old vending machine. There might be some rare products inside. Check the tray. Found a can of juice that someone left behind. Lucky you. Perhaps someone forgot to take it. You gratefully accept it. It was a free heal that we didn't need. Okay, well, we want to go there. Like, we want to hit that treasure box, and then we want to get up here. We want to hit as many of those as we can, but we do see that they tend to be surrounded by purple monster spaces. You trip and fall while exploring some rooms. You end up in the basement. Find a rare ore that had fallen halfway down the stairs leading to the surface.
We did it! What?
Got torn dress. Okay, you stop on treasure box spaces. That's good. That would be very annoying otherwise. Ground starts shaking while you're exploring an abandoned building. The best thing to do is... I mean, if you can escape the building, hide under a table. That is the doorways and under sturdy furniture. Like, it needs to be very durable if you're going to use a piece of furniture. And in some modern houses, even a doorway isn't necessarily the best. Doorways, because there's a whole lot of extra, like, framing around them that can lend to a little bit more structural support.
I'll take this with me.
See a hole in the road ahead. It's so dark you can't see anything. Inspect the hole. Found emergency rations that had fallen into the hole. They still look edible. Fashionable pouch. We got a fashionable pouch. And we have all the materials we need. Let's go back to the rec room and make that gift for Tsubasa. Hey, I'll take extra ore. Cough, cough.
Aha!
We made a fashionable sick pouch. We did it. Yay! I'm sure Tsubasa will feel relieved when we give this to her. Yeah, it'll eliminate her issue with fighting with us. No, it will reduce the side effects of her issue. A little less splash damage from her issue. Of course, just because we eliminate her reason not for fighting doesn't necessarily mean she'll join us. If it comes to it, you're going to have to remind Tsubasa of her reason for fighting. That is the workshop. The important people we left behind at the Tokyo residential complex, the things people need to protect. I'm sure if you remind her of that, she'll get on board. The important people we left behind in the Tokyo residential complex. So someone like what Karua is to me. Not only do we need to eliminate her reason for not fighting, we need to remind her that she has a reason to fight, too. Seems pretty challenging. I guess there's no point in being negative. I'll go swing by her place then. Takumi, why'd you come back? Look, I'm sorry, but could you give up trying to get me to fight? You saw it for yourself. I puked all over the place. Having a pukey girl like me on the battlefield is only going to cause everyone trouble. Hey, you're giving this to me? You're giving this to me? Wow, it's such a cute pouch. But why are you giving me this? Wait, are you trying to bribe me again? You don't need to be alarmed. I just wanted to talk to you for a bit. Could you tell me again why you're so adamant about not fighting? Persuasion missions. Say the right things to Tsubasa as she shares her worries and convince her to fight. You can choose what to say by pressing directional keys twice. The number of options may increase as the conversation progresses. If you choose the right response, the persuasion rate will increase. Bring this to 100% to successfully persuade her. Even if you fail, you'll be able to try again from the last failure point, so don't worry and just do your best. Okay, this is a, get through it kind of thing. Swirly, swirly.
Huh?
I already told you why I can't fight.
It's because it comes out when I get nervous. I start puking like a fountain in a fancy park. I know I'm going to puke if I ever fight against those invaders. And it's gonna get everywhere. I mean, I don't mind if I puke on myself, but I know you guys would get caught in the crossfire. Puke flies farther than you think. Plus, it smells and it's slippery. No, there's no way I can fight.
So you have to wait
Just
and
use
see.
that
Some of the,
stick
like, over time, that other one showed up. It wasn't just that she threw up, it's that she didn't want it to get on everybody else, and that it was, just physically gross. Let's use that sick bag. What? This is a sick bag? It's a fashionable sick pouch. I know it just looks like a regular accessory pouch. Never seen a sick bag that looked this cute. I wouldn't even be embarrassed to carry this around in public. If you're gonna spew, spew into this. That way you won't cause trouble for anyone else. You can puke wherever you need to.
You don't need to be afraid anymore.
This is wildly practical. Like, I'm sorry, they're trying to be so incredibly practical about this situation. So how about it, Tsubasa? Will you fight alongside us now? Tsubasa? I'm sorry, Takumi. I know you went through all this trouble and everything, but I really don't think I can fight. Why not? Your puking issue should be solved now. I can't just puke in front of everyone like it's nothing. I'm sure everyone would make fun of me. Of course. What Tsubasa can't handle isn't the puking itself, but that everyone would see her do it. I know that now's not the time to be embarrassed, and there is a part of me that wants to get out there and fight with you.
But I can't handle getting teased for my puking anymore.
Her voice is trembling. She must have suffered a lot because of her nervous stomach. I'm here if you want to talk about it. You must have been through a lot because of your ailment. I don't mind telling you, but it's kind of a bummer. I needed to eliminate Tsubasa's hang-ups with her vomiting and get her to join the fight. Average.
You want to know my nickname in grade school? It was Pukette. All the bullies in
That's a
my
cool
class
nickname.
made fun of me for my puking. Do you know how much of an impact puking can have on your life? I lost friends every time I puked in public. Like, how someone who I thought was a
Would have
friend
been brutal
would
in
one day
high
start
school and
calling me
earlier social
Pukette. Or
circumstances.
how the boys would loudly exclaim how the class smelled like puke. It was hard each time I lost a friend, and it made me sad. I'd cry in secret and puke some more. That's why I decided, before I went to middle school, to avoid any situation that made me nervous. To live an easy life, free of any puke. That's why I can't fight. Because if I fought, I would definitely puke. I think that if I puked in front of everyone here, the same thing would happen again. They would be repulsed and give me a mean nickname.
Well,
I'd rather die
S, I'll
somewhere on
puke
the
with you
streets
doesn't seem like it would
than
help.
be ostracized and called Pukette again.
Anyway, just give up trying to get me to fight again. This very much is like the debate sequence, or at least in general flow. It's they say particular things over time. And not only do you have to say the right thing, but the, like, when you're doing it matters, or at least the things that you can call out happen at particular times. Tsubasa is terrified of being teased and ostracized by the others. If I don't eliminate that worry for her, she'll never agree to fight with us. I have to get her to understand that I'll never abandon her.
You want to know my nickname in grade school? It was Pukette. All the bullies in my class.
Well, I don't feel
made
like
fun of me for
W
me
is the way to
puking.
go.
Do you know how much of an impact puking can have on your life? I lost friends every time I puked in public. Like, how someone who I thought was a friend would one day start calling me Pukette. Or how the boys would loudly exclaim how the class smelled like puke. It was hard each time I lost a friend, and it made me sad.
I don't know that
I'd cry
A
in
is
secret
actually
and
the way
puke
to
some
go.
more.
W seems
That's
like a
why
terrible
I decided
idea.
before I went to middle school to avoid any situation that made me nervous. To live an easy life free of any puke. That's why I can't fight. Because if I...
We'll try A, though. Okay, it doesn't sound like it was
Wouldn't make fun of
perfect.
you?
I trust you, but I don't know about the others. Few of them could be mean. What if they gave me another cruel nickname? If someone ever called me Pukette, I'd probably puke and cry on the spot. No! I'm too scared. I can't do it.
I'll puke with you.
What are you talking about? If you puked on your own, you'd stand out, so I'll puke with you. That way we'll both share half the attention. No way I'm letting anyone willing to fight for their loved ones get ostracized for puking.
They're gonna have to make fun of me too.
Are you kidding me?
No, I'm being serious. I mean, I'll puke for you right here, right now if you want me to.
Tsubasa stared at me as if she were trying to figure me out. I gave her as meaningful a look as I could in return. I won't let Tsubasa go through this alone. If she gets made fun of, then so will I. I continued to meet her gaze in silence. Now for intense eye contact. I had a feeling that if I looked away now, she'd close herself off again. 1 minute, then 2. Wow. That's awkwardly intense eye contact. I continued to meet her gaze without even blinking. That's the right thing to do in this circumstance. Stare 'em down. Going to deal with your issues by pure force of will. Then suddenly, her expression relaxed as if I had gotten through to her.
I see. You're stupid, aren't you?
Well, based on what we've seen of this character and and a bit of their backstory behavior, that would seem to be true. Puke with me? Are you crazy? How did you get like this? Wasn't the reaction I was expecting, but I got her to smile at least. I don't know how long it's been since I had a real heart-to-heart with someone. I try my best to hide my feelings from others because I'm afraid of puking. I would have never imagined this. Tsubasa looks so cheerful and friendly, but underneath it all, she's actually very troubled. I'm sorry, Tsubasa. I'm sorry for asking you to fight when I didn't know everything you'd been through. I had no idea how tough things had been for you. So far, one aspect of this is, like, convincing them to go along or to, you know, join the team. But I wonder if this will be used in a adversarial sense, like talking them down kind of stuff. Given Hiriko's behavior, I kind of feel like that might be an inevitability. As long as you're in this school, I'll never let you feel lonely. Wait, hold on. Are you saying you see me as some kind of charity case? Huh? Should I not be? Wow, well done. Life hasn't been that hard for me. Granted, things didn't go well at school, but I still had a place I felt like I could belong. A place where she feels like she belongs, if memory serves. Flashback. Takimaru talking about her grandfather's workshop.
Huh?
Mean your grandpa's workshop? How did you know that? Takimaru told me. You hung out there every day, he said. Yeah, tinkering with machines in my grandpa's workshop was always the highlight of my day. So you don't need to worry about me that much. People can get by well enough as long as they have one place they can belong. Tsubasa's face lit up the moment she began talking about her grandpa's workshop. It must be the most important thing in the world to her. If it's anything like how Karua is to me, then... Do you mind sharing what it was like spending time at your grandpa's workshop? I fully anticipate that there's some, like, overblown music that would normally be going on in this. If her grandpa's workshop is the thing that matters most to her, then maybe that can be her reason to fight.
Because of the way I am, I always try to keep my emotions in check. All I can think about is not letting anything make me puke. But I can finally be myself when I'm tinkering with machines in my grandpa's workshop. Machines are really fascinating and let me forget about the world. I'd get covered in oil
Acknowledgement
every day,
noises.
helping my grandpa with his work. Of course, I failed a lot too, but Grandpa would always cheer me up with his belly laughs. Fail as much as you want,
yes,
Tsubasa.
I see, and... Okay, shut up about
Star
you now.
players make mistakes, but they make the big plays too. Ha 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 ha. No matter
That's
how
cute.
much I messed up, he'd never kick me out. Even when his granddaughter was a good-for-nothing puker.
Your grandpa's really nice.
Yeah, my grandpa's the nicest grandpa in the world. He's a royal grease monkey who always protects his granddaughter. His workshop is his castle. My dream is to one day take over his workshop. I want to protect the place that's protected me all of my life. I just want to work on machines in my grandpa's workshop forever.
You know,
Vicious.
his workshop might get destroyed.
Okay, he has text on his t-shirt. So he has, like, a logo on his hoodie. And there's text there, but I can't really make it out. He has text on his jacket. His hoodie, what I had called the shirt, has text on it. It's a little too, and then it looks like a word that starts with P. And it has the look of text that was just laid over the surface in an image, such that it doesn't look like it actually conforms to the surface. Like, it's a perfect line kind of scenario. What? Why? Remember what Sirai said? If we don't fight, We can't protect what matters most to us. Your friends, family, everything you hold dear from your lives in the Tokyo residential complex. If we lose this war, all of that will be forfeit. But wasn't he just lying? As shady as Sarai may have been, I don't think everything he told us was a lie. This was part of the opening scene, like the call to action for the main character, the inciting incident. This is like a still frame of it, but you can see the critters like surrounding people or converging on people. And I will say, during that little movie sequence, it wasn't just all fade to black when they approached somebody. These people were, everybody you see, every human in that picture died a grisly death. Those little colorful creatures mauled them something fierce. The Tokyo residential complex was attacked by tons of invaders before we were brought here. Our loved ones being in imminent danger might well be true. So my grandpa's workshop is in danger too? It's entirely possible. No way. Tsubasa was at a loss for words. The possibility that her loved ones could be attacked by invaders terrified her. I took a step closer to her and stared right into her eyes. I have concerns about how he talks with people. Like, eye contact is important, but I feel like he doesn't know what that means. Like, there's a distinct difference between maintaining eye contact with a person when you're speaking with them and staring at them. Like,
If you want to protect your grandpa's workshop, then there's only one thing for you to do. Find the courage to fight the invaders.
But can a coward like me do that?
Don't worry. You don't have to do it alone. We'll protect what's important to you together. So just protect us in return. Come with us. And protect what matters most to us together.
The general layout of this is very much kind of the debate sequences in Danganronpa. Just instead of like proving they're lying or something like that, you're persuading them. The achievement is listen to me, successfully persuade someone. Fighting to protect humanity, to protect my grandpa and his workshop. Can someone like me really do that? You have magic blood powers now. Yes, yes you can. You're a really morbid superhero. Roll with it. Of course you can. You don't have to do it alone. We can make it through this together. Look at Ember being all cute while she's sleeping. Not making any promises, I'm going to need a little more time. But I won't run from the truth or write myself off anymore. I'll think about what it is I really want and what I need to do to make it happen. Is that okay? Sure, that sounds great. Okay. And thanks, Takumi. That's one person not sent to their death. I did what I could with Tsubasa. I'll try to work on the others now. There are 4 people left to convince. Ima, Kako, Shoma, and Gaku. So I think Ima and Kaku are the twins. And Gaku is the one on the left. And then Shoma is the one on the right. Now, of them... Hello again, Zane. Of them, Ima is the least obnoxious to deal with. Then Shoma. And then it's kind of... Her brother is creepy. Like, if I could separate them, I would. Gaku is really annoying. But if picking Gaku got rid of her brother... Of the 4, Gaku seems the most likely to hear me out. He doesn't seem like a bad guy, just a little outlandish and noisy, but I'm sure I can get him on board. Okay, fixed sequence. I'm not adverse to this. There's no time to waste. I grabbed the sandwich offering and headed over to Gaku's room. Wow. Wow, how did you accomplish this? I mean, 13 days is plenty of time to make that kind of mess, but he would have had to constantly be bringing this kind of thing back to his room and leaving it around. Huh? Why won't I fight? Because I'm scared, obviously. After filling up on the sandwiches I had brought him, Gaku revealed the reason he won't fight. I mean, how is it not scary? What are those invader monsters anyway? They're like straight from a manga. There's no way I can face them. I'd rather get kicked out of the school than have to fight them. If you get kicked out, you're guaranteed to die. Isn't it better to fight and live longer? Telling you I can't. I can't help that I'm scared. How can all of you be fine fighting those monsters? You're the ones who are crazy, not me. Must be a couple of screws loose. Must have. It's not like we want to fight either. But we have no other choice if we want to protect what matters most to us. If we don't defend the school, everyone in the Tokyo residential complex is in danger. I mean, don't you have people you care about? If we don't fight the invaders here, they might be killed. People I care about? I mean, Gaku specifically mentioned the financial circumstance he lives in is such that, or at least it's implied that if he doesn't work a given day, his family goes hungry. Don't have anyone like that. Now, it may be possible that it is a different way around, that, like, you know, one of their parents, if one of their parents didn't work that day, the family would go hungry, but I thought it was the other way around. I don't have a family. I'm an orphan who was abandoned as a baby. I worked and survived at the poor group home that took me in. The poor group home. It's tricky to phrase that right. Like poor group home. Like a poor group is a thing. I found myself falling silent. I had no idea Gaku had such a past. I see. Sorry, I didn't know. Whatever, I don't really care. Besides, being an orphan isn't all bad. Because all I gotta do is look out for myself. I don't care about the Tokyo residential complex. But are you sure? The Tokyo residential complex goes down, everyone dies. You might not have any family, but surely you have people you don't want to see die.
Hey!
I told you I don't. I struggle enough looking after myself. It's been like this my whole life. I'm only looking out for number one. Okay, we're done here. Go home. Wait, hold on. Just hear me out. I told you I won't fight. If you want me to risk my life so much, then bring me money. Money's the only thing I'll risk my life for. Bring me a fat stack of bills, then we'll talk. Money? Judge me all you want. I don't care what people say. This is how I live my life. You're gonna pay me. If you're not gonna pay me, then get the heck out of here. Shoo. Shoo. I like to think he made little shooing motions, flipping his hands forward. Gaku pushed me right out of his room. Well, that didn't work. Seems like the only way he'll hear me out is if I actually bring him money. But nobody has money here. We were basically brought here with just the clothes on our backs. If I can't pay him with money, maybe I can give him some sort of gift instead. I'll have to bribe him with something else. In any case, I need to get him to open up to me. Let me try making a gift for Gaku using the gift-o-matic in the rec room. But what will get him to open up to me? What's something he wants? Something with monetary value? No point trying to think of something on my own. I'll go ask the others and see if they have any ideas. Okay, quick break, then we'll be resuming just a moment. And we're back. I'm liking the mechanics here. At least there's some potential to them. Alrighty. So we need to talk to other people. Darumi being a wellspring of information. I wonder if each floor has different colored statues of different types. So we have the purple ninja. She's supposed... Oh, there she is. Look, Takumi, look what I found. What's that? A surgical scalpel. I was wandering around some ruins when I found an old hospital. I rummaged through the debris and excavated a whole surgery kit. I can't believe I found such a nice blade. It must be my lucky day. Just think how much easier I can do my cutting. Ooh. Of what? Darumi swung the scalpel around her as she ran down the hallway. She acted like a psychotic slasher. So, there are a variety of ways that you could take what she said, and, we shan't go into it. Shan't. Huh? Something Gaku might want. What about some needles and thread?
Huh?
Needles and thread? Apparently, Gaku's good at sewing. And he don't seem like no amateur. Once he looked at the embroidery on my jacket and got all worked up. He was all like, not bad embroidery, but I can do something like that easy. So Gaku can sew. I'm surprised that Gaku has such a domestic side to him. I mean, it's not ultimately shocking. Say, it's as much a self-sufficiency thing, but the fact that he has become skilled at it is a step past that. It's not just, utilitarian. Where do you think he learned to sew? Well, he's the oldest of a big family. After having to sew up the clothes of his brothers ripped up in a day, up day in, day out. He just got good at it.
Huh?
Big family. Keeps looping around, huh, Zane? That's not what he told me. He said he was an orphan. Apparently, he's got over 20 siblings. Wow, right? But I guess every family's got their issues. I expect it's not like necessarily he's got a big family, it's that he probably takes care of the rest of the group home. Yeah. Wait a second. Maybe those are the other foster kids living in the group home. But if that's the case, turns out he's got a family after all. Maybe I should make a note of this. Gaku's got a family of foster siblings. Should just open the map from there. "87 days remain." A present for Gaku. What about clothes? Clothes? I guess his outfits are always patched up. He doesn't have a lot of clothes, or the money to buy more. I see, so he doesn't have the means. So I think he'd be very happy if you gave him clothes. But I can't just bring him any old clothes. It'll have to be something he likes. If I'm going to get him clothes, I need to research his tastes. peeked into the war room and saw Hiroko typing something on a computer with a serious look on her face. What are you doing, Hiroko? I'm looking over the footage of past battles and making a record.
Huh?
A record?
Oh.
A record of how many invaders and which commanders we took out. Basically, I'm creating objective data detailing how much we've contributed to this war. She's even doing administrative work. She might be hard to get along with, but she's certainly brilliant and capable.
Ah.
Isn't that a lot of work? Obviously. You think I want to be doing this boring work? Well, I don't. But it's still important. We need to keep these kinds of records.
Oh.
Or they might try to shortchange us when it comes to our reward when the war is over. Reward? Didn't I mention it? These invaders have a pretty nice bounty on their heads. That's what Sirai said, at least. If that's true, then we're not fighting for free?
Oh.
That's why I'm documenting all this for you. So that doesn't happen. So there are rewards for taking out the invaders. I might be able to use this information later when I'm trying to get Gaku on board. So this can make up for the I want money aspect. By the way, do you know if there's anything Gaku might want? Huh? Sorry, never mind. Okay, I'm starting to get an idea of what present to get for Gaku. Clothing. Gaku's always wearing patched up clothes, so a gift related to clothing might be good. Although giving him clothes isn't a good plan. I'm sure he has his own taste and style, and the chances of him liking whatever clothes I pick out are low. He's good at sewing. According to Takamaru, Gaku can sew, and pretty well at that. What about giving him a sewing kit? He'd be able to make whatever clothes he wants and even keep wearing his current clothes by mending them whenever he needs to. Being able to sew, in particular being able to mend clothes, is a good skill. It's something that, nowadays has become much less common because of the quick availability of clothing. But having the ability to patch minor damage, like durably patch minor damage, would go a long ways for plenty of folks, for really everyone. Not having to replace an entire shirt because it gets a little hole in it or similar. Like, I have definitely had pants that have been completely cat mauled. I got one of those, please love me, reach up and paw at your leg things that resulted in a claw slicing straight down the pant leg and through it. Search the gift-o-matic for sewing-related gifts. After a few minutes of searching, a sewing kit. Sewing kit with all the tools needed for any project. In the hands of an expert, it's better than a machine. I mean, I feel like a machine would not be bad. Like, I feel like that's, in the hands of an expert, this handsaw is better than a mechanical saw. It's like, well, what circumstances are we talking about? Because I feel like an expert could make really good use of a machine as well. Semi-related. My video feeds have been flooded with joinery lately. Woodworking without like nails and the like. And they show that you don't have to use the power tools for everything, but that they make a lot of the tasks much faster, and it does not decrease the artistry that goes into the joinery. Beverage. So we can get... This looks good. The materials I need are needles, thread, scissors, and cotton. It's a lot of materials. Gathering them all is going to be a pain. I mean... Hey, dude. Yeah, Ember be snoozing. And what is good? Well, this game is good. Yeah, Ember is on the side of the desk. Let's see. Camera 1 should activate more reliably. So, often Sky is the one that lays on top of another cat. But Molly will lay on top of Sky. Do I not run out of names? There are a lot of names. There are piles of names out there. If you don't limit yourself to, human names, or you do, you can branch out into the extremes of human names, but even past that, there are just piles of names out there. That's right. You got to pick something that is either generic enough or that fits. What I've seen with a lot of them is there's absurdity, attempting to physical match, attempting to behavioral match, and then there's just a name. So, like, Molly is just a name. Ember is much more of a physical match. She has, like, the soft orange and gray, the, dull heat and ash kind of vibe is what I was looking at. Her shelter name was Glowstone because all of the volunteer kiddos for that season had named all of the fresh kittens Minecraft names, and that was not going to stick. Both because I'm not going to inflict Minecraft names on things, and additionally, Glowstone did not fit. If it was a real pale tan, like an almost yellow cat, then okay, I could have gotten that, but still. Minecraft names. Sky was his shelter name. Molly was the shelter name. Really, all of them, I've just kept the shelter names within reason. Actually, no, Molly wasn't the shelter name. Trying to remember exactly what it was. Tammy. It was Tammy, I believe. And since Sammy preceded her, I wasn't going to have another Amy name. If you're going to call an animal, then you want it to be very emphatic which one you're calling. But light adjustments like that. Only my first two cats were not shelter cats. So the Maine Coon pair, Bob and Tom, my first two cats, did not have shelter names, but I kept the names that they had originally been given as kittens. They were all named things that you could suffix with cat. So Bobcat, Tomcat. Their siblings were Manx, Allie, and I can't. There was another one, but two of the siblings were Manx and Allie. I had thought of some names, but they didn't really work. Didn't roll off the tongue, But otherwise, all from shelters. I try to go for shelters first. Like, if I had the option of getting a Maine Coon or similar from a shelter, I absolutely would. They're big, lovable doofuses. But they're also kind of particular and expensive. A Maine Coon is a big cat. As far as domestic breeds, they're one of the largest. For a male Maine Coon, a very small one would be 15 pounds. Like a tiny Maine Coon would be 15 pounds. But they get big. The place Darumi found was a surgical facility. They might have needles and thread for stitching. I mean, you could ask her about the surgical kit. It's also sure to have scissors, and if there are medical cotton pads, they might work in place of the cotton. I mean, owning pets in general is a chore. It is you are taking care of them. Maine Coons in particular, there's a whole lot of fur maintenance. Additionally, Maine Coons tend to have fur, assuming you're dealing with actual Maine Coons. They have fur that is really prone to felting up, so it'll clog things like vacuum cleaners, and it's hard to get out of fabric. Well, thanks for swinging through, dude. So, go to hospital, get surgical kit. I'll have Darumi show me the abandoned hospital. So this is an auto-progressing sequence of days. Ready to go find more scalpels for my cutting, Takumi? It's really bad phrasing. Like, there are some relatively dark ways that you could take that.
Hey!
You mean to look for materials to make Gaku's present, Darumi? Down a save, just in case. The exploration seems to have, like, health loss in battle scenarios. So, these are reasonable situations, I think, for having a save and being able to fall back. Assuming we don't get a, choose their fate scenario. Take me to the hospital. Okay, but don't get mad at me if I get lost. So there are fire markers with levels on them. I wonder if you can upgrade the fire extinguishers somehow. Okay, we could go to the right. There's a treasure box that way. Treasure box both of the directions. One of them behind a fire. What do you think? Let's be ambitious and try to get 2 treasure boxes. So let's go right first. Pebble hits you. Where did it come from? Ground. So it was an invader. You frantically chased after it, but it got away. You just ended up wasting stamina.
Real nice.
Pumice stone. Strange seeds are falling from the sky. Try to catch them. This catch might be usable as material. Got a spinning seed.
This looks good.
Natural hot spring. Take a dip. Thanks to a nice soak in the hot spring, you recover from your explorer's fatigue. Find a large jar. There's only one thing to do at a time like this. Smash it. There's a token in the jar. And a BP bronze token.
Yes!
Okay.
Poggers!
Ear pick. So I don't know precisely what those are supposed to be. There is a... In Japan of yore, there was a tool, like I think it might have been a hygiene thing called an ear pick, but those were also, those were worn in the hair. And for a period of time, there were fashionable versions made of those, especially after trying to recall what that kind of law is, but there were the samurai caste put rules in place that said peasants couldn't wear fancy stuff. So ear picks were a way they got around it, because ear picks were considered a tool, and it was okay to wear a tool as decoration, or to wear a tool if it was made out of materials that didn't qualify as fancy. So they made fancy looking ear picks to wear as ornaments, even if it ended up being like they were wearing a whole bunch of them together. Why would you need that many? Well, I've got a whole family. Apparently there is a story of that, of why do you need that many ear picks, Let's go left. A large turnip in the ground. You might be able to use it for something if you dig it out. Pull it out. Leaves tore to pieces in your grasp, and you fell spectacularly on your backside. Aw, no Mario 2 turnip? Find an old cabin made of scrap and driftwood. Some of it might be useful. Snag some pieces from outside. Get some decent wood.
This looks good.
Cute little board game sequence. Oh, I had meant to backtrack. Oh well. Abandoned home appliances. You might be able to dismantle them. How about a fridge? I thought I said dismantle the fridge, but you begin to disassemble the washing machine. You gradually begin to feel worse and worse. You suspect a gas leak. Got the parts we need. Needle, thread, and cotton. And scissors. Got all the materials. Can we go home then? I'm getting bored. I just want to go back to my room and play depressing eroges. She is a strange creature. Well, we got one treasure box item and a bunch of materials, so... So now we'll bring him the gift, and we'll be able to use the fact that there's a bounty on the creatures to cover for the money that he demands. And we also know that he has some sort of... he effectively has a large family that he is kind of concealing from us. Immediately headed to Gaku's room with the new gift. Doesn't matter how many times you come over, I'm never gonna fight those invaders. The only way to convince me is with a sack full of money.
Huh?
The heck is this? A sewing kit? Wait, you're giving this to me? Yeah, I figured you could use this sewing kit to make whatever clothes you wanted. Or you can just keep mending the clothes you already have. You're good at sewing, right? Alright, I gotta admit this was pretty thoughtful. I just noticed some holes in my clothes. Yes, that's a pretty good reaction. I can tell Gaku's expression is softening. Look, I feel bad saying this after you gave me this all... You gave this to me and all, but I still can't fight with you. I'm seriously terrified of those invaders. As you can see, I'm not exactly the big macho Chad type. No, I'm... No, you certainly aren't. Oh my god. I'm not asking you to fight, just in exchange for this gift. More like a gift so I can get the chance to talk to you some more. Gaku, would you mind telling me why you're so against fighting? Persuasion game. Why won't I fight? Isn't it obvious?
Hey!
It's because I'm freaking terrified.
I get dragged to this completely insane place,
You're
and then
such
they
a
tell me to
chicken.
go fight these monsters? Like, what am I supposed to do? What even are these invaders? They look like they came straight out of a manga. Yeah, no way. Doesn't matter how much you ask, I can't and I won't. I mean, you tell me. How can you guys even bring yourselves to fight them?
Gaku, if you fight, you can make money.
Make money?
Ah,
According to Hiroko, every invader you bag nets you a bounty reward. If you fight the invaders with us, you'll be able to make some serious cash.
Huh?
No freaking way. So you're saying this could be a way out of being broke? No, not just that. We actually have a chance of hitting it big and getting rich. Monetary rewards for bloodlust, go! Gaku, come fight with us. Let's get through this war and make a ton of cash. I extended my hand and urged him to participate in the coming battles, but... Gaku wouldn't take my hand. Instead, he averted his gaze and bit his lip. What's the matter? You don't want money? Yeah, I do. Real bad. You have any idea how long I've been broke? I'd gladly risk my life, no, 2 of my lives for a big payout. Then... But if I decide to fight here and help you take out the invaders... then all those people in the Tokyo residential complex would be saved too. Isn't that a good thing? No way, it's not fair. Not fair. I told you, I'm an orphan, right? I grew up poor in a group home. You may not know this, but society pretty much treats you like dirt when you're a poor orphan. We did see the Tokyo residential complex during the opening events. He was running around and they ended up in an area that was like seriously dilapidated. So even though it is a sealed society, there is definitely some social strata going on. No matter how much I asked for help, those jerks in the complex never even gave me the time of day.
They didn't help me, so why should I help them? How is that fair?
Fair? Now's not the time to be thinking about fair. Shut up, you. You grew up in a happy family. I don't want to hear anything from you. Gaku started breathing heavily as he shut me down. His hatred towards the society that abandoned him is Gaku's true reason for not fighting. He'll never agree to join us until this hatred is addressed.
Hey!
Gaku, I'm here if you want to talk about it. I'd love to know everything you've been through. I decided to ask Gaku about his past to see if I could find a way to change his mind.
You want to know how many jobs I was holding down back in the complex? 17. I was working 24/7, 365 days a year.
Dang.
I worked every day until I was about to collapse, and I don't have a single penny to my name. It all went to running the group home. I never got any time to myself. Isn't that messed up?
Well, I want to help you.
Shut up, I don't need your help. Feel sorry for me, then give me money. After that, you can bring me a rich girl with huge knockers. Seems like shallow empathy only has the opposite effect. No good, I failed. What can I do to get Gaku to fight when he's holding such resentment for the Tokyo residential complex?
You want to know how many jobs I was holding down back in the complex? 17. I was working 24/7,
So nothing that is like commiserating
365 days a year.
or similar.
I worked every day until I was about to collapse, and I don't have a single penny to my name. It all went to running the group home. I never got any time to myself. Isn't that messed up? So I asked adults for help, to show some love to our home, but we got nothing. Politicians ignored our request for assistance.
People swing through, Zane.
To ask for donations and got tea thrown in my face. There's no way I'm gonna help any of them. I wish they'd all die. I will never, ever, ever fight for any of them.
The shorts for you page is high traffic, but also fast traffic. Save your siblings. My siblings? Takemaro told me. You're the oldest in the group home, and you have a lot of foster siblings. If the complex gets destroyed, they'll all die. You're fine letting the invaders massacre your entire family? Given that all of them had to have fought the invaders before they were pulled here. Like, it's described for the most part that it was desperate and they don't want to do it again for these folks. They would have likely seen what these things do to people. So this fight for your family thing is like there's some edge behind that. It's not just a fight for your country, it's a you don't want that to happen to them, right? Gaku fell silent. He seemed rattled. As much as he seems to hate the complex at large, there's no way he'd just abandon his family. He's bound to change his mind once he realizes his siblings are in danger. No, I'm still not fighting. What? Don't you even care if your whole family gets killed? They're not my family. It's not like we're blood related. They're just strangers who happen to live in the same group home as me. What's wrong with you? You may not be blood related, but you're still family. Not only are they not family, they're a huge burden. I've had to suffer my entire life because of those stupid brats. Just thinking about it ticks me off. They freaking used me. If it weren't for them, my life wouldn't be as miserable. Wow, those brats can go die.
I hope the invaders kill every single one of those brats.
With this guy, really? I get his anger towards the Tokyo residential complex, but why his family as well? They went through the same hardships. Gaku, why are you so angry at your family? Would you mind telling me? I needed to abate Gaku's anger and get him to fight. I decided to try again.
The reason I was holding down so many jobs at once was to earn enough money to feed my siblings. Every cent I earned disappeared into their stomachs. I'm the one working myself to the bone, but I couldn't even afford to buy a single shirt. And despite all that, they never even thanked me once. They just complained about how there was never enough food or snacks. They treated me like a slave. If anything broke, they figured I'd fix it. They ripped their shirt, Gaku will mend that too. I must have mended their clothes thousands of times. I'd stay up all night just to sew for them. They're little parasites that drained me of my time and money.
Oh.
You sound like a mom.
I didn't expect it to be that tone. What are you calling a mom? I would have killed for a mom. Bring me a rich, nurturing biddy who will give me all the chicken tendies I want. Nothing I can say to Gaku when he gets like this. I need to do something to get him to express what he's really feeling.
The reason I was holding down so many jobs at once was to earn enough money to feed my siblings. Every cent
I was thinking of the "it sounds like you really care for them" vibe.
I'm the one working myself to the bone, but I couldn't even afford to buy a single shirt. And despite all that, they never even thanked me once. They just complained about how there was never enough food or snacks. They treated me like a slave. If anything broke, they figured I'd fix it. They ripped their shirt, Gaku will mend that too. I must have mended their clothes thousands of times. I'd stay up all night just to sew for them. They're little parasites that drained me of my time and money. If it weren't for them, I would have had free time and money for myself. I could have bought new clothes, eaten some good food, maybe even moved out on my own. Oh, give me back my time and money! Damn it! Just die! Die, 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 you stupid brats! Die, 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 die!
Nope.
Enough already!
We have to let him shout himself out. Enough of that. Not until society gives me what I'm owed. Nothing I can say when he gets like this. Yep. Okay, yeah, we gotta let him shout himself out.
The reason I was holding down so many jobs at once was to earn enough money to feed my siblings. Every cent I earned disappeared into their stomachs. I'm the one working myself to the bone, but I couldn't even afford to buy a single shirt. And despite all that, they never even thanked me once. They just complained about how there was never enough food or snacks. They treated me like a slave.
It will be interesting to see if there are ones that you can legitimately fail later.
They ripped their shirt, Gaku will mend that too.
Like that there are consequences if you don't convince them,
I'd
kind
stay
of
up
thing.
all night just to sew for them. They're little parasites that drained me of my time.
As long as
and
it's a
money.
narrative divergence and not just a "and then they
I would have
die."
had free time and money for
Hey there,
myself.
Lore.
I could have bought new clothes, eaten some good food, maybe even
We're gonna try to let this guy whine himself tired
Give me back
here.
my time and money! Damn it! Just die! Die, 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 you stupid brats! Die, 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 die! The invaders can kill every last one of those brats! I wouldn't even shed a tear!
Yep. You don't say anything. Let him shout himself out. They can all die. They all deserve to die. They should all just die. But then why? Why is it when I imagine them being killed?
I start crying!
It's because you don't want them to die, not really. How you doing, Lore? But if you think about it, I'd be better off without them. They don't add any benefit to my life. got that, you know, toxic internet bro transactional thing going. Family's not about benefits. You should know that better than anyone. You're trying to convince yourself that you should abandon them when you know you can't. You're only making yourself suffer. Getting close to the next upgrade in GTA there, Lore? How about you give up and just accept it? Fight to save your siblings. You want me to save the little brats who ruined my life? My life sucks. Was I a panty thief in a previous life?
Gaku, if you don't want to help the Tokyo residential complex, that's fine. I'm not doing this to save the world either. Honestly, as long as I can protect what matters most to me, that's all I care about.
I took a step closer to him and stared right into his eyes. This is like the capstone of his persuasions, I think, is that step in and stare him down in saying something semi-heroic.
You don't need to save the Tokyo residential complex. You don't even need to let go of your hate. Just fight to protect what matters most to you, like me. For the ones waiting for you at the group home. Just fight for your family.
Yep, it is the finisher for these. Still, when it says it like that, it ends up feeling like you're trying to intimidate them. I never asked for all those brothers and sisters, you know? My own parents didn't want me, so who needs family? They just get in the way. Why should I have to keep busting my hump for them even now? They could be 1,000,000 miles away for all I know. My whole life, I've had to sacrifice everything for their sakes. Talk about rotten luck. But still, I can't just abandon them. They're family. Pressing some buttons. Buttons. There we go. We might not be related by blood, but they're the only family I've got, you know? Of course, there's nothing wrong with wanting to be there for your family. Is it asking too much for you to fight for them, too? Sorry, but can you give me some time alone? I need to think through all this. Sure, I understand. Thanks, man. You're a real decent guy. I feel a little better about myself now. So, they've got his eyes shadowed and he's pulling down his cap. But you have the little snot trail running out of his nose. It's the it's the probably still crying but trying not to show it. Day 15.
Up and Atom troops, time to rise and shine! Get ready for your 50th day of active service here at Last Defense Academy!
It skipped this for the past few.
Prepare to spend another day enduring the unendurable, and be ready to give your lives to protect our beloved.
The announcement played like usual, and I got out of bed, feeling like it would be just another morning. But then... Who could that be? That still waking up face there. I opened up the door and welcomed my guest inside. How do you like the meatloaf? A real taste of home, right? Just like Mama used to make? There's a reason for that. I sliced your mother up into little pieces and put her in the... Just kidding. You've been our maid.
Hey!
Yeah, sure, you got me. Did you want something, or did you just come here to prank me? Don't shoot the messenger, bro. Mistress Hiroko sent me on important business. Mistress Hiroko? She wants you and me and Takemaru and Aito to meet up in the cafeteria. That means right the F now, mister. Anyway, now you know. I have to go tell the others. Mistress Hiroko's orders must be carried out promptly and efficiently. Darumi bounded away, leaving chaos and confusion in her wake. Another meeting, huh? It's only us this time. The deadline's tomorrow, so maybe Hiroko wants to discuss that test she mentioned. Well, only one way to find out. Cafeteria, here I come. Save put down. Yum. Good morning, Mr. Sumino. We're back.
Huh?
Back? Where'd you go? We were out gathering herbs and grasses. We're pretty good at figuring out which ones are edible. There's been times in our lives where we've had to learn that the hard way. Again, they're in very, immaculate uniforms. They have the way they speak has that, we're trying to make these folks, nobles or the rich, that kind of thing. But then when they're describing at least their recent life, there's a lot of we've had to survive out in the wilderness kind of vibe to it. I can't believe we're back to eating grass to survive. See, back to. This outside world is really something. We found plants I've never even seen before. Don't overdo it or eat anything that could be poisonous, okay?
Aha!
There's no need to worry, Mr. Atsuke. Mr. Atsuke has been sneaking us bread on the side. He's such a considerate friend, unlike a certain someone I could mention. Well, excuse me. And excuse us, we must be going. This wild grass salad isn't going to eat itself. Goodbye. That is emphasizing that one of the others has been talking to them. So we'll see if they were convinced too, you know. You're all here. You bet we are. I gathered them all up, just like you told me. I can see that. You did an admirable job, Darumi. Mistress praised me. Wow. Did something happen between those two? Come on, let's hear it. What do you want this time? I want a report on your progress. How are your attempts to win over the non-fighters going? So this was part of your plan. Have you managed to convince them yet? You only have 1 day left. Well, not all of them, but I think Tsubasa and Gaku are starting to come around. I see. That's good. I didn't expect you to convert all 5, of course, but we can deal with the holdouts later. Deal with them how? True to my original plan, anyone who doesn't have the will to fight will be forced to leave tomorrow. What? Wait a minute. It took a while, but we've made real progress. With just a little more time, I'm sure we can... I'm sorry, but a promise is a promise. I can't go back on my word. But without protection or battle experience, they'll die out there. If they're not going to contribute to the war effort anyway, what difference does it make? That they'll die. That's the difference. The fact that we're having to tell this to you makes us concerned about your leadership capabilities. Why does it have to be like this? To defeat the invaders and win the war, naturally. You really think abandoning those guys is going to make it any easier for us to win? I'm certain of it. I've already pointed out the possibility of them drawing the enemy's attention away from the school for a while. There's also the chance that facing real danger will knock some sense into them and finally bring out their fighting spirit. Those chances are slim. It's not worth the risk. There's nothing I won't do for the sake of victory. Allowing victory to elude us would render the risks we've taken and sacrifices we made up to now completely meaningless. If you have time to spend worrying about the others, I'd prefer you spend it training to use your hemo anima more efficiently or effectively. The enemy commanders are far stronger than us. We'll never defeat them if we get too hung up on our own survival. When push comes to shove, we all have to be prepared to give our lives. Well, I mean, kinda. The whole, we get resurrected pretty quickly thing makes that mean a different thing than you probably think it means. As usual, Hiroko left no room for discussion, leaving us alone to mull over her words and consider our options. Such an ice queen, how could anyone not stand that? Darumi uses a lot of terminology that is going to make this game age like cheese. Yes, I know cheese is aged, but there's a difference. Something she said just now bothers me. Aside from the obvious, you mean? The death? Yes, but never mind. It was probably just my imagination. Nothing to worry about. What's our next move? Today's our last chance to save those guys.
Hey!
I'll talk to them one last time. It might not do any good, but it's worth a try. We have to do something or it'll be all over for them tomorrow. You're right. We can't possibly abandon our friends to such a cruel fate. I won't let Hiroko force them out either. I'll step in to protect them if I have to. You can't use violence and threats to get people to do what you want. Society just don't work like that. Okay, some of the ways that you've been talking about how you'll, punch people into behaving properly imply that you don't believe that. Feels like a great deal of your persona is violence and threats to get people to do what you want. Feels like you're drawing a distinction. But I get them to do things that they should do. With violence. And some threats. And threats of violence. Never expected Takamaru to be the one to uphold the laws of society. Appearances can be deceiving, I guess. In the back of my mind, I've been expecting, hoping really, that Hiroko would go back on her plan and cut the non-fighters some slack. I could see now how foolish I'd been to think that. Even if I'd managed to change Tsubasa and Gaku's minds, Shoma and the twins would still have to leave. Pushing some buttons. Yeah. can't let that happen. I have to try to talk to them one last time. Not ringing a bell, Blue, but welcome nonetheless. Should talk to Shoma, Ima, and Kaku before it's too late. That would do it. My memory decays very quickly. This is Shoma's room. I wonder if they're in. It is a habit of some folks to change their handle on things like YouTube and Twitch regularly, which does impede the ability to remember a name and link it to a person. Rang the doorbell and waited. Eventually the door slowly opened. Hello. I'm sorry. Please forgive me for ruining your day with my existence. Well, we're off to a great start here. Hey, Shoma. That deadline Hiroko set for you guys is coming up. Tomorrow, you know. Are you sure you won't consider things? Or reconsider things? At this rate, she really is going to throw you out. Yes, I know. I guess I'll just be thrown out like the trash I am. You don't really want that, though, right? You shouldn't expect too much from me. He is a character that could do with an Eeyore impression, if I could pull that off, you know? I'm so hopelessly inept that me losing is basically a foregone conclusion, no matter what kind of conflict it is. This isn't some kind of physical or psychological shortcoming I can work on and overcome someday. My uselessness is baked into me at a cellular level. I may as well accept my fate. My staying here would only cause more trouble for everyone. You understand what you're saying, right? Once you get beyond the wall of fire, you'll probably die. Yes, I know. I've accepted that too. I'm sorry to disappoint you, but it's better to get it over with now so I don't really let you down later. I'm sorry you had to end up here with someone like me. Shoma bowed his head in a gesture of deep regret and disappeared back into the darkness of his room. It's no good. He's too pessimistic for me to convince him now. The way he was leaning into the side of the little bubble there made it feel like he was banging his head on the wall. This is Kaku's room. Okay, it's Kaku, not Ima. Huh. Maybe she'll be more willing to listen to me today. Rang the doorbell and waited. After a little while, the door was pulled open by a shaky, hesitant hand. Brother dearest, Oh, it's you, Takumi. Sorry if I surprised you. I just wanted to ask you something. Have you made your decision on what you're going to say tomorrow? If you don't agree to fight like the rest of us, you'll have to leave. I know, but my dear brother said he had a plan. He said there's no need for me to fight. Just like he said there's no need for me to ever get married or leave home. Yeah. Ima, could we get rid of Ima? Is that an option? I feel like that's a discussion for another day. Okay, but let's put Ima and his plan aside for now. What do you want to do? Me? She got a headache, or is it just, like, straining the circuitry? Is it really that hard of a question? I don't really know. My dear brother usually handles all the big decisions. It's no different now. I have no choice but to go along with what he says. All right, I guess that's that then. Thank you for coming. Kako bowed uncertainly and closed the door, being careful to avoid making eye contact the whole time.
Hey!
Wow, that's not sheltered. That's kept in a cage. It's about what I was expecting. I can't imagine a timid girl like that ever going out on the battlefield. She has not been allowed. It's Ima's door. Let's see if he's around. I rang the doorbell and waited. A moment later, the door was thrown open.
Ah.
Oh, Mr. Sumino. It's you. To what do I owe the pleasure? Don't tell me you're still hoping to convert me to your side. How much do you think you can achieve in just one day? Ima, please, at least think about it. I've done all the thinking I need to, Mr. Sumino. My safety is guaranteed, thanks to the plan I've come up with.
Huh?
All right, you mentioned before that you had a plan of your own. It's a simple enough solution. All I need is a way for me and my dear sister to remain at the academy without needing to fight. There's no way Hiroko is going to allow that. That's the problem my strategy aims to address.
Hey!
And what is this strategy exactly? Oh, I'm so sorry. Sorry, but I can't tell you that. If you knew about it, it would lose all strategic value. Ima waved me goodbye and closed the door, his easy smile devoid of any kind of fear or anxiety. Yeah, Lunar, that is abuse victim behavior from Kaku there. And Ima has that, like, toxic caretaker kind of vibe. And that's kind of my guess right now, is that he might be trying to kill Hiroko or in some way incapacitate her. Or he has some method of shutting her down. It's got to be something targeted at her. He seems so confident. I hope his secret plan isn't anything violent. I've talked to all 3 of the remaining non-fighters, but it hasn't done any good. I've done what I can now. I guess I'll just go back to my room. I had a feeling it would turn out this way, but I'm still not happy about it. If those 3 really are kicked out tomorrow, what'll happen to them then? Isn't there anything I can do? Wonder who that could be. Has one of them changed their mind after all? Hope fluttered in my chest as I went to the door, but when I opened it... Oh, it's you. Hello, Takumi. May I have a moment of your time? I mean, the kind of lock her away and keep her dependent is clearly what he has already done. Even though, like, I have to assume the whole they've been living on the street, given the way that she has commented on some of it, might be that he, like, run away with me. It's the right thing to do, you know? Like her comment on there's no need for me to get married or leave home. Was this he kind of spirited her away? Oh, yeah. If his task is to do something that is physically overpower her or detain her, that's probably going to go badly. She is, unless he like ambushes her and knocks her out, that's the best he could hope for. Maybe he's got somebody else that will team up. I don't know, but anything that results in a confrontation with her is going to go badly. Oh, hey, Aito, what's up? I wanted to discuss something with you. You know, about Hiroko. What about her? You remember when I told you in the cafeteria what I told you in the cafeteria this morning? Something Hiroko said then bothered me. I've been thinking about it, and I'm sure now that it's important. Now, one interesting thing is she determined that if she kills one of the generals, another Hemo-Anima user, she can gain power. I wonder if her goal in throwing them out is to give her an excuse for them to be outside, where she could hunt them down. So, what did she say that was so strange? I thought you said it was probably nothing. That was just an excuse. I thought it would be better if we didn't discuss it in front of everyone. What do you mean? I'm almost certain Hiroko is hiding something from us. If I'd pressed the matter, we'd have gotten into a big argument. Things are strained enough right now as it is. I didn't want to risk escalating them further. I guess that makes sense. What is it that you think she's hiding? I want you to think back to what Hiroko told us before she left, and see if anything stands out. The enemy commanders are far stronger than us. We'll never defeat them if we get too hung up on our own survival. That humanoid invader with the strange transformation was certainly stronger than any other foes we've come up against. But she said commanders, plural, not singular. Huh? We've never fought an invader like that before or since. It's not impossible that there are others like it out there. But Hiroko spoke about there being more as if it was a sure thing. I mean, this is tenuous at best, Aito. Now that you mention it, that is kind of weird. I mean, it's a reasonable assumption that if they have been referred to as a commander, that there could be more than one commander. That they are not unique. It's not like Surei said, that is the only enemy commander. Bear in mind that what I'm about to say is just my own conjecture. But it seems to me that Hiroko views this war differently from the rest of us. Almost like she knows something we don't. That wouldn't be out of the question. She did say she's been fighting the invaders a lot longer than we have. But if the people in charge have told her something, or if she's found out something for herself, what could it be? Only way to find out. Only one way to find out. We have to ask her about it ourselves. What? Just like that? There's no way she'll tell us the truth that easily. She'll probably brush the whole thing off. Knowing what she knows will allow us all to make more informed decisions. It makes sense, strategically speaking. If she insists on dodging the issue after that, we can get everyone together and put more pressure on her. We could even make her step down as leader. What? If Hiroko's no longer in charge, she won't have the authority to make the others leave. It's not like we voted her into that position to begin with, anyway. I mean, you don't need to present some sort of special argument or put her in a tough position. She unilaterally declared she was leader, and everybody just kind of shrugged their shoulders and went along with it. She has no authority. Now, one possibility is that she's going to demonstrate that she has actual authority if they go against her. Like maybe she has the implanted bomb control. You're basically suggesting we stage a mutiny. Isn't that a step too far? She's gonna kill people. I feel like you're I feel like this is not the circumstance for let her cook. The proposed cookery she is doing is throw a whole bunch of people outdoors to their death. Let's just see how this turns out. Probably not a good idea. I don't think it will come to that. Hiroko won't let anything happen that might jeopardize our chances of beating the invaders. Yeah, that's true. I don't know what this information she's hiding is, but if it can help us give us a better perspective on the war, we ought to know about it. It might even make the last 3 non-fighters change their minds. That's a chance worth betting on, don't you think? I guess. You see, it's in everyone's best interest for Hiroko to share what she knows with us. The thing is, though, she scares me. I'm not great at talking to people anyway, and I don't think it would I could make my case very well. I mean, she does rely a great deal on intimidation. I always feel better around you, Takumi, and you have quite a way with words, so... Yeah, he can just step right up next to her and stare her down. Ah, so that's what this is all about. Alright, I'll go with you and try to get the truth out of Hiroko. Thank you. I think it's best if we talk in private, just the 3 of us, before involving anyone else. I believe Hiroko is in the leisure lounge on the 3rd floor, alone. Hello, Annabelle. Annabelle rings a bell, but I don't recall specifically, no. Welcome, nonetheless. Sure, no problem. Let's go talk to her. Thank you, Takumi. Is Hiroko really hiding something? I can only hope she'll be honest with us. If she refuses, things could get complicated. Well, I'm sure it'll work out, somehow. I base this on nothing. Nyom. Aito said Hiroko was in the leisure lounge. What would she be doing here all on her own? Look, Takumi, over there. Aito pointed to the pool. From where we were standing, we could make out a shadow moving in the water. As we got closer, whatever it was came to the surface, sending a spray of water across the edge of the pool. She did mention that she liked to, swim on her own, that kind of thing. Standing there was, of course...
Your peeping technique leaves a lot to be desired.
What? We weren't peeping! That's right! We wouldn't! That's to say, we didn't!
Why are you both acting so flustered? Does my body really unsettle you that much?
Well, welcome back, Annabelle.
It's not that, it's just...
Get to the point. I know you didn't walk in here by accident. You knew I'd be here, so you must be here to see me. Out with it. What do you want?
We have something very important we want to discuss with you.
Very important, you say? All right. Wait here while I go get changed.
We watched Hiroko make her way towards the locker room, the silence broken only by the echo of her wet footsteps. Half an hour later... Thank you for waiting. Now, let's hear this very important matter of yours. My time is precious. Feel free to skip the preamble. Okay, well, no easy way to do this. I've just got to go for the direct approach. All right, I'm gonna come right out and ask. Hiriko, do you know something about this war? Something the rest of us don't? What makes you think that? And so suddenly, too. We figured it out from some of the stuff you've said and done. Plus, if we assume you have information that we don't, it actually explains a lot. Your cold, practical attitude, for one, and your dedication to winning at any cost. Is it true? Do you know the truth about this war? About Last Defense Academy? It's not that we consider you an unfit leader or anything, Hiriko. Now that Sirai's gone, there's no doubt you're the best person for the job. But I can't follow someone who insists on keeping us in the dark like this. And I'm sure everyone else would feel the same, if they knew. That is absolutely a threat. Is that a threat? Are you planning to go behind my back and turn everyone against me? He absolutely implied it as such. Yes, he did. Believe me, I'd rather not have to. Fighting among ourselves would tear this unit apart. Oh, it would be a shame if you forced my hand. It would be terrible, but it would be my duty to tell everyone. I just couldn't bear it. It would be wrong for them not to know. If that happens, we'll be in no condition to fight the invaders anymore. Yeah, Aito, there's going to be a twist on Aito. There is something that character is concealing.
Hey!
If for no other reason than the art and some of the writing is from the Danganronpa people. Aito has silver hair. The silver-haired character, or at least the pale-haired characters with mysterious backgrounds, are not trustworthy. I believe we had pale purple and gray previously. Why did I start streaming? Or why did I begin a YouTube stream? Why YouTube in particular? What? Please explain the question, Annabelle. We're not trying to start a confrontation here. We're still on your side. We just want to know the truth. Everyone's so confused about what we're doing here, and now we got caught up, and how we got caught up in it. Once we know the truth, it'll be a lot easier for us to focus on doing whatever it takes to win the war and go home. So please, if you know anything that might help explain all of this, I think we have the right to hear it. You've really got me up against the wall here. I can hardly shrug this off with a, I don't know anything now, can I? I'm impressed. I didn't think you had it in you to grill me this mercilessly. We didn't mean to grill you exactly. If the question, Annabelle, is why did I start streaming on YouTube? I originally streamed on Twitch, but I stream on YouTube to expand my reach. And because the YouTube kind of VOD, keep things recorded and upload videos is much more extensive. Twitch has become and also streaming platform for me. If it's why did I start streaming? Because I wanted to try streaming, so I started streaming. No great high purpose. It's something that I wanted to do, so I'm doing it. You've asked me if I know something about this war. If I have to answer, then yes, I do have certain information that you may find relevant. You do? Really? What is it? Is it about what's in the defense room? Or how they choose who to send here? Yep, Annabelle, just like with writing a game, it is something that I've wanted to try doing, so I'm doing it.
Huh.
Hold on. Can we go and get the others first? I want everyone to hear this all at once. It'll be better for our morale that way. Fine.
At ease, soldiers. It's time to hit the hay. You never know when the invaders might attack, so rest up while you still can. Well then, good night.
Ah.
Nighttime announcement. I didn't realize how late it was.
Oh.
We'll be up all night if we try to call a meeting now. Maybe we should pick this up again tomorrow morning. Is that all right with you, Hiroko? I'll tell everyone to meet up in the cafeteria, like we did before. Oh, okay. So, the whole concept of, killing someone wouldn't make sense because of the auto-resurrection protocol when you're on school grounds. But they made a particular, they made an effort to note the system has to be able to identify you. I wonder if it's possible to break that somehow. That there's something that could be done to make it so that the system couldn't ID you and then rebuild you from the banks somehow. The fact that it's wait till morning, and the morning is when Ima and Kaku are going to be thrown out, would imply that Ima is going to enact their plan that morning. So this is a convergence of important events. Something's going to go wrong. And you're not planning to go back on this? You haven't left me with much choice. Besides, I haven't been hiding this information because it reflects badly on me or anything like that. I just thought it might be better to spare you from such a harrowing truth. Harrowing? It's that bad? You should tell everyone that was your reason for hiding it, too. Trust us, whatever this truth might be, I'm confident we can handle it. We've made it this far, and most of us have made up our minds to put our lives on the line. Our resolve won't be shaken so easily. Alright, I'll trust you. Just be aware that it's a long story, and you might not like what you hear. The fact that I've kept this secret from you this long should give you an idea of how bad it is. Yes, well, I'll tell everyone to prepare themselves for the worst. I really never thought it would turn out like this. But it's a relief that I'll finally get it off my chest. I'm going to sleep well tonight. A beat later, Hiroko was already halfway to the door. Before she could leave, I called after her. Wait, can I ask you one last thing? What is it? Were you serious about the deadline tomorrow? Were you really going to force the non-fighters to leave? You've said time and again that you didn't care if they died. Did you mean that? The way you talked about protecting us from the truth right now, I'm finding it hard to believe that you're really that heartless. My primary goal here is to win the war. There is nothing I won't do for the sake of victory. But it's not enough for us to defeat the invaders. All of us have to survive. All of us have to survive as well. That's what victory means to me. Despite those words, Hiroko clearly didn't intend to loosen up anytime soon. She continued on her way, her back to us the whole time. Mysterious. Hiroko. She's not so bad after all. Just a little clumsy when it comes to expressing her feelings. I feel like it's not clumsy. It might be brutal. Aito and I didn't stick around for long after that. We done all we came to do, and it was getting late. Went back to our own rooms. Okay, what misguided thing is Ema planning? Glad we figured things out, but what about this harrowing truth Hiroko mentioned? Whatever it is, it's made her obsessed with winning this war. But it's also something she thought we'd be happier not knowing about. What could be that terrible? What is this big secret? No use thinking about it now. By this time tomorrow, she'll have told us everything. Better go to bed so I can be fresh for the meeting in the morning. Hey there, Crow. Welcome. If it isn't apparent, we are playing 100 Line Last Defense Academy. A very narrative game. So ended my 15th day at Last Defense Academy. The 16th day would bring a development none of us were expecting, one that would have a considerable effect on our war effort going forward. Day 16. Yep, Hiroko's missing. Crow, that name doesn't ring a bell. I've checked around this side of the wall of fire. There's no sign of her anywhere. She's not in her room either. Looked in a bunch of classrooms, but she's not in any of them. Sorry for being so useless. I don't understand this. Where is she? Hiroko had disappeared. Oh, and thinking on it, the purple fire, the eternal flames, are another way to hypothetically remove someone. Today was supposed to be the day she told us all about what she had been hiding, but when we got to the cafeteria that morning, Hiroko wasn't there. Additionally, this is kind of what happened with Sire. The I'll tell you everything was supposed to happen, and then they vanished, and we found them ostensibly dead. We waited long enough that we started to get worried. A few of us rang the doorbell outside her room, but there was no answer. That's when we knew something wasn't right. We decided to split up and search the school for her. This casts substantial suspicion on Ema. We scoured every inch of the academy, but failed to find any clue as to her whereabouts. The exterior of the academy is like nice school. The fields, bike racks, all of that stuff, like pleasant looking. The academy itself is very science fiction. After that, we tried looking outside. We followed the wall of fire all the way around, but still didn't find anything. Hiroko was gone, vanished without a trace. I mean, given the last incidents, you would expect we need to do a search outside would also be something viable.
Ah!
Where'd you go, mistress? It's safe to say she isn't anywhere on school grounds. That just leaves one explanation. She must have gone outside the wall. Oh, that's not possible. I mean... Oh, okay, we have both extinguishers present. Those get replaced each day, I believe. Both fire extinguishers are still in the entrance hall. She couldn't have gotten out without using one of them. Then where is she? Why'd she pick now to pull a disappearing act? You guys said Hiroko was hiding something from us, right? Some kind of secret about the war? Isn't it weird that she went missing right before she could tell us? It's the same thing as what happened to Sirai. You mean, We're going to find out her chopped up, find her chopped up and stuffed in a trash can somewhere? Don't say that. You're gonna make me... If Miss Shizuhara is gone, that means our fight or leave ultimatum no longer applies, right? I mean, nobody's going to want to test us while all this is going on. The rest of you don't even know what the test is going to be, right? Right? Shut up, man. Why are you acting so happy? Wait a minute. Ima, didn't you say you had a plan to get out of fighting or having to leave? What's the matter? You don't think I had something to do with this, do you? Have a little faith, Mr. Sumino. I'm sad to say my secret plan was a total bust. Miss Shizuhara disappeared before I had a chance to spring it on her. Maybe this is redundant at this point, but just what was your plan? I was going to seduce her. Didn't I mention I'm a master in the art of love? Oh. Okay. It's possible that he's lying, of course. But I could also see him being the kind of person that would say that. Simultaneously, I find it hard for him to say that because of his, like, absolute devotion to his sister. Like, for him to imply that he could is a little off for the character. Excuse me? Back in the complex, I'm pretty well known in certain circles, practically a celebrity. The financial aid of my many kind friends is what's allowed me to put food on the table for me and my dear sister when times got tough. Okay, so, the toxic side of host work, you know? I'm sorry, everyone. I know my dear brother's aura makes him seem pure and chaste, but... So, you were gonna put the moves on Hiriko and get her to let you off the hook that way? Exactly. It would have been the perfect plan, one only I could have pulled off. There are so many problems with that. I don't know where to start. But we've got more important things to worry about right now. If you didn't do anything to Hiriko, then where is she? If the school got attacked now, we'd really be in trouble. Hey, yeah, we've got no Sirai, no Hiriko. It'd be a total disaster. Let's try not to get sidetracked with worst-case scenarios. Maybe we should search the school again.
Hey!
Yeah, that's about the only thing we can do right now. We wandered around the academy looking for Hiriko for the rest of the day. By the time the sun went down, we'd made no progress whatsoever. We were starting to get desperate. The day ends.
You never know when the invaders might... Well, then.
This is terrible. It felt like we'd finally reached an understanding with Hiriko, and now she's gone. She couldn't have just disappeared. She has to be around here somewhere. The fire extinguishers haven't been used, so we know she hasn't gone outside the wall. She's still on school grounds. She has to be. Let's look around one more time. Wait, Takumi, it's late. It's getting dark. We'll have a better chance of finding something in the morning. It's important we take time to rest, too. If there's some other crisis after this, the last thing we need is to be sleep-deprived during it. He's right. We can't spend all night searching and risk the next attack taking us by surprise. We need to conserve our stamina, so we'll be ready to fight when the time comes.
Hey!
Alright, you win. Let's call it a day. Who knows? Maybe tomorrow Hiriko will come back like nothing ever happened, And she'll explain everything. And she'll have cake, too. Anything's possible, I guess. I'll let everyone know we're done for today. You can go on back to your room. Sleep well. I'll see you in the morning. She'll be back tomorrow, like nothing ever happened. Even if as I said it, I knew the chances of such a miracle were practically zero. I slept fitfully that night, too uneasy to really relax. Anytime things started to go our way here, those hopes were quashed almost immediately. Was that just the kind of place Last Defense Academy was? As soon as we were all up, we resumed the search for Hiroko. We started with the school interior. Nothing. And we split into groups and checked outside. Everywhere we could reach, right up to the wall of fire. Still nothing. It was obvious now that Hiroko wasn't going to just show up out of nowhere. She disappeared, utterly and completely. Another day, and we didn't find anything. People don't just blip out of existence like this. We've been as thorough as we can, but there's still no sign of her. Does this mean she really did go outside the wall? What about the fire extinguishers, though? You can't get out without using them, right? Yeah, I'm sure of that much. Then where could she be? Maybe she got kicked from the server. She might have lost her connection because of sunspots or something. Can I say something? Listen up, everyone. My darling sister is about to grace us with her words of wisdom. I feel like she hears that kind of thing in her head every time she's about to say something. It's not just the, the repeated relationship abuse. It is also just trauma. Like, social humiliation damage. You can do it, sister dearest. I think I spotted an inconsistency in your logic just now. Something that doesn't quite add up. What's this inconsistency you spotted, Kako? It could be nothing, but... What if using the fire extinguisher isn't the only way to get past the undying flames? Huh? Hiroko was keeping secrets, right? She knew things that we don't. What if that included a way out of the school that none of us have noticed yet? A way out? It's like back in the complex. You end up finding shortcuts and stuff in your neighborhood as you grow up and get to know it better. That's right. None of us even considered that possibility. You're a genius, sister dearest. Oh, if only we'd gotten to know Miss Shizuhara better, she might have agreed to smuggle us out with her. So she left and went back to the TRC on her own? Hey, moron. This is Hiroko we're talking about. She was more serious about beating the invaders than any of us. That could have been an act for all we know. This is the only explanation that covers all the facts. Actually, I thought of something else that might explain it. Huh? Oh, really? What's the other explanation you thought of, Kako? There's a difference between this disappearance and the last one. Hiroko was one of us. She couldn't detonate the bombs inside us like Sirai could.
Aha!
Oh, I see. Any one of us could be the culprit here. Huh? If one of us killed her, carried the body outside of the wall of fire, then came back after disposing of it, that wouldn't account for there still being two. That would account for there still being 2 fire extinguishers here, wouldn't it? What? Since the corpse recovery drones don't work outside of school grounds, they wouldn't have detected her death or brought her back to revive her. Oh, you would have had to knock her out, carry her unconscious body out to the wall of flames, and hurl it past the detection range. And it wouldn't be like Miss Shizuhara had vanished into thin air, and it would be like... Outstanding, Sister Dearest. You've thought of everything. Wait a minute. You really think Hiriko was murdered by one of us? Who was it? Which one of you killed her? Whoa, don't look at me. We don't even know for sure if that's what happened. No, it's the only explanation that makes sense. Mistress Hiriko would never run off and abandon us, and she wouldn't let any second-rate invaders do her in either. But she'd let her guard down around one of us, and that'd be all the killer would need to get the jump on her. Don't talk like that, Darumi. We're not murderers. None of us would turn on a friend. Are you sure about that? We've only known each other for a couple of weeks. You don't know what everyone's capable of. Oh, this is a new face for her. She is very upset. Maybe, but still. My beloved Mistress Hiriko has been taken away from me, and in such a cruel way, too. I need to honor her memory by enjoying this paranoia-filled atmosphere to the max. Darumi's the one that, upon being introduced to her, was dead set on this being a killing game and very disappointed that it wasn't. So this is kind of a loop back around bonus for her. That's your takeaway from all this? Please, it was only a theory. There's no firm evidence to support it. Right, just a theory. Just one possibility. You explained yourself really well, though, Kaku. I think this is the most we've heard you talk since we got here. This is her field of interest, after all.
Heady soldiers.
2 days of
Time to
Hiriko
hit
missing.
the hay. You never know when the invaders might attack, so rest up while you still can. Well then, good night.
There goes the nighttime announcement. Another day is coming to an end. Both those theories mean Hiriko could have left school grounds. Looking outside the walls starting to sound like a better idea, don't you think? Let's save that for tomorrow. We're not likely to find anything in the dark. But if she really did have a secret way out, she's probably miles away by now. Nah, we'll find her. Pieces of her, anyway. Hey, you think we can shove the parts in the Revive-O-Matic? Maybe it'll still work even if they're a little rotten. No, the manual was very clear about that. It has to be used immediately after death. A few minutes at most. That won't matter if Hiriko's still alive, and I sincerely believe that she is. I don't think discussing things any further will help us at this point. Let's take a break and get some sleep. Tomorrow we'll come up with a plan and take action. Right. That's probably the best approach. I wonder if we're going to find out that Shoma's really a killing machine. The group dispersed, all of us exhausted and demoralized from another day of fruitless searching. I mean, there's a lot of possible threads we could pull here. Ito is actually an insider, and any time any of the others say that they're going to reveal a secret, he does something to off them. We have, like I mentioned just now, Shoma has been really quiet. Could be another one like that. So Ito has been, super helpful. Let's get in and talk to everybody. Let's not fight. We don't really need to. But then, maybe they have an ulterior motive, something that is less about keeping the secrets of the location and more about undermining them. Shoma was amongst the ones that was going to be thrown out, would have died. Shoma could have taken action. Ima could be lying. Ima's plan of seducing her, like I mentioned, not quite fully in character, but the explanation that he was a bit of a I don't know the name for it, but would go catfishing more or less. Could be an explanation for that being viable, like really good at social manipulation, but that is also a point against him in that regard. As tired as I felt, I found it hard to sleep that night. I just couldn't switch off. Where was Hiriko? How and why did she disappear so completely? We'd gone over a couple of possibilities today, but I wasn't willing to believe either of them yet. Hiriko running away, one of us killing her. Each sounded just as impossible as the other. Its goal is to win. There's nothing she won't do. But it's not enough for us to defeat the invaders. We all have to survive. Additional thought, I wonder if one of them actually dying or falling is what creates those commanders. Is if any of them, if they lose any of them, it is creating a new enemy. Don't think she was lying then, so why would she leave us so suddenly? Didn't come up with any answers that night, but I did eventually drift off. Sleep gave me no relief. Thoughts of Hiriko and what might have happened to her haunted my dreams. Pushing some buttons. It went on and on like that for a while. Time seemed to lose all meaning. I could have slept several hours or only a few minutes. I know that feeling. All of a sudden, my eyes flickered open. My body felt hot. Something was wrong. I glanced around, trying to get my bearings. Couldn't be morning already. It was still dark out. Then, I caught sight of something in the corner of my eye that had me springing to my feet. Oh, fiery ghost thing. Okay, so we have a vaguely heart shape with like vein work coming out like off center, like in possible heart position on the uniform there. And then we have the wreathed in undying flames thing. Facial structure with a bigger art here doesn't really resemble anyone in particular at the school yet. What the? It's back.
You! What are you doing here?
I could barely speak. fear and confusion making my throat seize up.
Who are you? What are you? Why are you in my room?
Very unseized throat there. It's trying to speak again, but I still can't make anything out. Just the same as last time. What is this thing?
Are you an invader? Why do you keep attacking the school? What do you want from us? I know there's something here, but what is it? I can't hear you. At least talk in a way I can understand.
This is getting me nowhere.
Did you do something to Hideko? Wait, no, not just her. What happened to Sirei? Was that you too? What did you... Ah.
It's been a bit. This definitely was due.
Hey!
It's gone. More importantly, is that the alarm?
Intruder alert. Intruder alert. Unauthorized personnel detected on school grounds. Defense mode initiated. All available troops prepare for battle immediately.
Well, ideally, one of the others is going to jump in because Hiriko was definitely a strong addition to the offense in the group. Invaders are back. Not only do we have to fight them at night, we have to do it without Hiriko, too. Is this part of their plan? Did they get rid of her so they could attack while we're confused and disorganized? No time to think about that now. We've got to get to the war room and get ready to fight. And right there, we're going to stop for the night. There we go. We're moved. Well, good run. Good run so far. We are... There are enough possible narrative threads that we can see that there's plenty to speculate on. It's not entirely formulaic. Now, it could turn out to be that way in a disappointing fashion, but at the moment, it doesn't seem to be. And that is good. So I'm looking forward to more. The plan is to play more of this tomorrow. I do intend to get more coding streams in there, but like I said, I do need to make some progress on the math front, or at least on the theory behind the math that I'm using before I want to continue, because I don't want to spend an entire stream just bashing my head. So hopefully that'll turn around and we'll get some more coding streams in this coming week. But yeah, I hope everybody had a good time with us tonight. If you like what you saw and would like to see more, remember to leave a like, follow, subscribe, whatever it is on the platform that you're using. It will help the channel grow. If you'd like to consider financially supporting the channel, you can do so through Patreon, Coffee, memberships, and subscriptions. All that kind of stuff is available. With that said, though, I hope the rest of your day is good, and I'll see you next time.